USP Leavenworth stands on the west bank of the Missouri River in Kansas. It operates as one of the oldest federal prisons in the United States. The prison opens in the late 19th century, at a time when the federal government seeks a permanent institution to hold its own offenders. From the beginning, Leavenworth is designed to project authority. Its massive stone walls, regimented cell blocks, and military-style order reflect a belief that discipline, not rehabilitation, ensures control. The prison's age matters. It is built before modern theories of corrections take hold. Cells are narrow. Tiers rise high. Sound carries through the stone. Privacy does not exist. Movement is rigidly controlled. In this environment, power does not disappear. It concentrates. Guards enforce rules through routine force. Inmates establish hierarchies through violence, reputation, and race. The system does not try to eliminate conflict. It reacts to it. If stories like this matter to you, consider subscribing, because understanding institutions like this reveals how the federal prison system actually functions. Leavenworth becomes the model for federal incarceration. For decades, it houses inmates from across the country. Many arrive already labeled as dangerous or disruptive. Others learn quickly that survival requires awareness, restraint, and alliances. The prison does not separate populations with the precision seen in modern facilities. Racial segregation becomes common practice for much of the 20th century, enforced informally by inmates and tolerated or reinforced by policy. These divisions reduce some conflicts while hardening others. Violence is frequent. Assaults occur in cell blocks, work details, and recreation yards. Weapons are improvised from metal, wood, or everyday objects. Fights erupt over territory, debt, or perceived disrespect. Guards intervene after incidents escalate. Prevention is limited. Overcrowding compounds tension. Cells built for one person often hold two. Noise never stops. Sleep is light and irregular. Leavenworth's reputation grows through the inmates it holds. Throughout the early and mid-20th century, the prison confines bank robbers, organized crime figures, political prisoners, and military offenders. Some names become nationally known. Their presence reinforces the image of the prison as a place reserved for the most serious federal cases. Yet notoriety does not translate to privilege. Conditions remain harsh regardless of status. Daily life follows a strict routine. Count times structure the day. Work assignments fill the hours. Silence is enforced in some areas, ignored in others. Discipline is immediate and often physical. Solitary confinement exists but lacks the procedural oversight seen today. Segregation units are used as punishment and control, not treatment. Time spent there is uncertain and mentally punishing. The architecture itself contributes to fear. Stone corridors amplify footsteps. Guard towers loom over yards. Bars dominate sight lines. The prison is meant to be seen as permanent and unyielding. Escape attempts are rare and usually unsuccessful. The surrounding geography and design make flight nearly impossible. This reinforces a sense of inevitability among inmates. Authority inside Leavenworth operates through endurance. Guards work long shifts in close proximity to hostility. Corruption and abuse occur, as documented in investigations and lawsuits over the decades. Accountability is limited, especially in earlier eras. Complaints move slowly through federal systems. Inmates understand this imbalance. It shapes behavior on both sides. Gangs and informal groups exert control over daily interactions. Protection is exchanged for loyalty. Neutrality is risky. Refusal to align can lead to isolation or assault. The prison administration monitors these groups but rarely dismantles them completely. Control is partial and temporary. When leaders are transferred or released, others take their place. Medical care reflects the standards of its time, often inadequate by modern measures. Mental illness is common and poorly treated. The stress of confinement exacerbates existing conditions. Suicide attempts and self-harm occur. Records show patterns consistent with long-term institutionalization rather than individual pathology alone. Leavenworth also holds military prisoners during certain periods, including those convicted by court-martial. This mix of populations adds complexity. Military inmates bring different expectations and tensions. Integration is uneven. Conflicts arise from differing codes of conduct and identity. The prison's role evolves as the federal system expands. New facilities open. Some inmates are transferred to relieve overcrowding. Yet Leavenworth remains active. Its age does not diminish its function. Instead, it becomes a symbol. For many Americans, the name alone signals severity. Legal challenges gradually force changes. Court rulings address overcrowding, segregation practices, and conditions of confinement. Reforms are implemented unevenly. Progress is slow. Institutional culture resists rapid change. Staff turnover introduces new policies, but old habits persist. Unlike modern supermax prisons, Leavenworth does not rely on near-total isolation. Inmates interact constantly. This increases risk but also maintains a form of social order. Violence is visible. Consequences are immediate. There is little illusion of safety. Survival depends on awareness and restraint. By the late 20th century, the prison's population shifts. Some high-profile inmates move elsewhere. Security classifications change. Leavenworth adapts but does not transform. Its structure limits modernization. The walls remain. The cell blocks remain. The culture adapts within constraints. Staff training improves over time. Oversight increases. Federal standards evolve. Yet the core experience remains defined by confinement, control, and tension. Former inmates describe an atmosphere of constant vigilance. Former staff describe exhaustion and stress. Both accounts align with documented conditions. Leavenworth's legacy influences public perception of federal prisons. It represents an era when punishment outweighs rehabilitation. Programs exist but are secondary. Education and vocational training are limited by security concerns. Reform is discussed but rarely prioritized. The prison also reflects broader social patterns. Racial segregation inside mirrors segregation outside. Violence inside parallels violence in marginalized communities. The institution does not exist in isolation. It absorbs societal conflicts and intensifies them. As newer facilities take on roles once held by Leavenworth, its symbolic weight remains. It stands as a reminder of how incarceration was designed to function. Control through presence. Order through force. Stability through endurance. Today, discussions about prison reform often reference institutions like this. Critics point to its history as evidence of systemic failure. Supporters argue it maintained order during volatile times. The record shows both control and cost. Leavenworth does not offer redemption narratives. It offers documentation. Court records. Incident reports. Testimonies. Together, they depict a place where violence is managed, not eliminated. Where authority is asserted daily. Where survival is learned behavior. The prison's continued operation underscores the persistence of old models within modern systems. Change occurs incrementally. The past remains embedded in stone and routine. For those who pass through its gates, the experience is defining. USP Leavenworth stands as the backbone of federal incarceration history. Not because it is the most secure. Not because it is the most modern. But because it reveals what happens when confinement is built on intimidation and endurance rather than reform.